Hi, I'm Richard Harrison, the Technical Product Manager for Windows Intune here at Microsoft, and I'm here to show you a few Windows Intune tips and tricks. One key feature of Windows Intune is its asset and reporting capabilities. So in this tip, I'm going to show you how you can create and export hardware reports from the Windows Intune Console. One feature that occasionally gets missed is the ability to export hardware reports using Windows Intune filters. From the Windows Intune Administration Console, I can select the computer's workspace, and then from there, all computers. From this view, let me draw your attention over to the Filters option, which by default no filters are selected in. But if I click the drop-down, I have a number of different filters I can choose. But for this little hint, I'll show you the hardware classification and hardware identity filters. By selecting that, I can see a view that shows me a lot more information about the hardware configuration of these machines. So the machine names, the chassis type, the manufacturer, the model number, as well as the operating system and the last reported status, time and date, are included in this report. And then using the print or export icons, I have the ability to take this report and export it to either a comma-separated value file or an HTML file that I can then use to import into some other reporting tool. So that was the hardware classification filter. Now if I select the hardware identity filter, there's a little bit of different information here. Here we're focusing on serial numbers and the last logged on user for the computers. And again, this can be very useful for tracking computers in your organization. Just as before, I can export or I can print this report off. Our next tip is highlighting how to export full software inventory reports into Excel. Using the built-in Windows Intune software reports, it's possible to create a very detailed report of all the software installed on all your computers. It's also possible to export this information as a comma-separated value file. So if I go to my Reports, Software, here I can create a report of all computers in my environment from all publishers in all categories. Just by clicking View Report, this will generate a Silverlight report for me with a lot of detailed information in it. And then using the standard export feature, I can save that out to a comma-separated value file. Okay, now I can close that, switch back to my reports file and open it. We can see here we have a list of the software, the categories, the publisher, and the number of installations. However, we can get an even more detailed report. So let me close that down. Now, if I view this exact same report and go to the export option, draw your attention to this default setting, export summary data only. If I deselect that option and export, we have the same number of rows being exported, but you can see more data is actually being generated now as the report's taking a little longer to generate. If I open up my second report, now you can see not only do I have all the software that's installed in the organization and the categorization of it, but I also now have row by row exactly which computer is installed with what software on it. And I can use Excel now to format and organize this however I want, and I've got a master report of all software installed on all computers. So just by deselecting the Export Summary Data Only option, I can generate a very detailed report here. Finally, I want to show you a tip on how to export a report that will show you alerts that have been closed in the Windows Intune Console. We've been asked a number of times by users how to create a list of alerts that have been closed in the Windows Intune Console. So in this hint, I'll take you through that process. So the first step is to go to the Alerts workspace. And from there, I can select all the alerts that have been generated or are active on the system at the moment. And just as any normal operating day, I can select which particular type of alert I'm interested in drilling down into, or I can stay at the all alerts level. But if we look at the filters here again, I can select the closed filters alert. Now, when I click on that, these are the alerts that have been closed over the last 90 days. Now that I have the closed view open, I can generate an exported, comma-separated value file report of any alerts that have been closed. Then using something like Microsoft Excel, I can export that data and customize it to meet my specific needs. And if I was something like an MSP, I could generate a report that shows exactly how many times a customer called me over a 1-month period. And that's it for these tips and tricks. I hope you found them useful and they help you get the most out of Windows Intune. Thank you.